We see here a wooden beam with washers taped under it, resting on top of the Mr. Sketch marker. Now we might want to note the shape of the top of the Mr. Sketch marker. Let's zoom in here a little bit, and we see that the top is nice and flat here. When you have one of these yourself, you'll see that too. And of course the top isn't very wide. Now when I spin this thing, spinning it carefully, it didn't quite stay there, did it? So let's try this again. Okay, that goes around pretty well. And keep it going until it falls off. There, it just fell off. Now, the point is that these washers here have to do with whether it falls off easily or not. If I put this thing on here with the washers up, don't know if that's going to fit your intuition or not, but this thing's going to be much less stable. Now, I didn't just make that happen. You can try it yourself. It's very difficult to balance the thing with the washers in the upward position like this. Now you can understand that by the fact that, let's see, let me get another marker. That would kind of bit the dust. It's out of my reach. When I balance this thing on the marker, and you look at it end on, you see the beam and you see the washers. Now the center of mass of the beam is on an axis that's right through the center of the beam. The center of the mass of the washers is up here. As I rotate the beam, the center of mass of the beam moves that way. Center mass of the washers, I'm sorry, if I rotate the beam with the washers on top, if I rotate it this way, the center of the mass of the beam comes this way, and the center of the mass of the washers comes this way. Whereas if I have this thing in this position, and I rotate it in this direction, the center of mass of the beam comes over this way. The center of mass of the washers moves that way. And they move in opposite directions, which means that the motion of the center mass of the beam in this direction is somewhat canceled by the motion of the washers in that direction. So that the two effects are fighting one another, whereas in this situation, the two effects are reinforcing one another. Now when the center of mass gets far enough over that it's past the edge of the far point on the marker where it's balancing, past the edge of this circle, there's going to be a torque in this direction, and the whole thing is just going to fall. And you see that that happens more easily this way than this way. Now we'll see how that works out in terms of a couple of figures, but that's the situation that we're looking at.